What was the best advice you got as a young actor or actress?
The best advice? Well, I think it changes. It changes the best piece of advice because you always get a new piece, and then you're like, oh, well, that feels more relevant, to today. But I don't. I'm going to go with something very generic, being in the moment, because I can't think of anything else on the top of my head.
Yeah, no, I can't think of anything that's like. I mean, I've obviously received like loads of great advice, but I think similarly to Joe, you take something, it's under your belt, and then you kind of almost like kind of have that, and every next piece of advice you get is the best piece at that moment until you harness it. And but yeah, being in the moment is definitely. It sounds like such an obvious one, but obviously just like it goes with being in the moment, but like reacting and not expecting every scenario to go how it goes in the script. Like if you walk into a door and walk into it and you're going to see something that you're going to get angry about, you have to go in there almost expecting, oh, I'm going to take my shoes off, and then that was a good one for me. But I think there's so much. Like, if there was a piece of advice that encompassed all of it, I would be a lot better of an actor.
So, Hero, you actually grew up kind of in the spotlight too. I mean, you were part of Harry Potter after all. And some people actually define Hardin as a villain too. I mean, he's for sure a bad boy, but would you describe him as a villain?
No, definitely not a villain. I'd say like there's definitely like dark aspects that villains have as well. Not just in the fact he wears dark clothes all the time, but he isn't the jolliest of fellows. So I get why people say that, but I definitely would disagree with anyone who says he's a bad person, wholeheartedly bad person.
And Josephine, question for you. The movie has been compared a lot to 50 Shades of Grey, and there was an interview with Dakota Johnson where she said she hoped the franchise would empower women to be more confident in the workplace and in relationships. Do you feel the same way about After? Do you hope it's empowering young women?
I think that's great that she said that. Well, yeah, and not even just going off what I think, but going off reality. I've been told so many stories by Anna, the author, about girls messaging her and telling her those stories about how the books help them talk about something with their family, or get out of a situation, or just grow as a human being. And I think, yeah, the reality is these stories, it's helped so many young women gain a sense of like confidence and decrease shame around like the topic of sexuality.
I agree. So forgiveness is a big theme in the sequel, and regardless of what happens or what doesn't happen in the movie, do you guys think Tessa should forgive Hardin? Do you believe that love conquers all?
I think if she doesn't, we might run out of stuff to shoot.
Yeah.
I hope so.
I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
So Tessa has come a long way since the first movie, which I guess change was the big thing in the first one. Did playing this role change you in some way, or did you learn something from Tessa?
I'm sure I did. It's difficult to I was saying this the other day, when something becomes your new normal, it can just be difficult to figure out what has changed. But yeah, I think just in my life, I've learned so much more about how a set works and the roles and the behind the scenes of the industry, and so much with that. And yeah, I think every character you play teaches you something. I'm not sure I can put into words what it's taught me yet, though. I might figure it out later.
So Tess and Hardin are obviously very different. Do you agree that opposites attract?
Not always. No.
I think there's a lot
more. And just talk about
it. Yeah. I mean, I think there's more to it than that, but yes, it's all circumstantial, isn't it?
In the first movie, there were a lot less erotic scenes than in the original fan fiction, and that is not the case for the second movie. So what else can fans expect from the sequel?
I'm sure there's some scenes that were in the second book that we've cut. I think fans can just expect tonally a different experience to the first movie, and the way we're telling this story, it is a little older, and it's just different to how we're telling the first. And I think they can expect a lot more excitement and pace and intensity with this one.
Those were all the questions I had. Josephine, I think it's your birthday soon, right?
Probably.
I'm not going to wish you a happy birthday yet, but thank you so much for talking to me. It was nice talking to you.